Lisa, can you tell us if the Chinese are pushing any particular technological boundaries, or are they relying on Western technologies?
The Chinese development studios buy and use Western technologies for middleware, for development tools, for engines, where they have the financial wherewithal to be able to afford them. They also use homegrown, in-house developed tools where they find that they're equally efficient or less expensive. If the case is that they can't really afford to license a Western toolkit or something to that effect. In the case of outsourced development studios, typically the Western publisher will provide the license to the development studio for use when developing their game, so the studio in China won't have to buy it on their own. There are companies such as Epic that are in China now who are trying to derive an appropriate economic model to be able to license their technology to Chinese game development companies at a level that is affordable in China, instead of trying to just simply push the American price point down the Chinese throat, which is inappropriate and has not worked in the past.
Can you give us a piracy report on China? You've mentioned it several times. What's the state of affairs in piracy in China?
Piracy in China is rampant in terms of packaged products at rates of 90 to 95% for packaged games. There used to be a vendor on every street corner selling a counterfeit copy of games, DVDs, music, everything. The government has cracked down to a certain extent on those types of vendors. There are still plenty of pirate stores where you can buy games, although even the pirate stores are harder and harder to come by these days. When Niko Partners researchers go out and collect our data, we collect more than 70,000 points of data a year on the Chinese market. One of our sources is to go to pirates' retail stores to see what games are being sold, packaged games are being sold in the pirate market, and how many of them are being sold, etc., what's a popular title. In 2007, it was much more difficult for us to find those vendors, the pirate stores themselves, than it had been in the past 4 or 5 years before that. And the reason is that the crackdown on piracy has come in earnest now from the government, and there are stricter rules for counterfeit production, a lower criminal threshold for what is tolerated by the government in terms of counterfeiting. That said, piracy is still a big problem, and so online games are the best mechanism for gamers to play games, and then the game publishers and developers to be insured revenue from the gamers playing the games. So we will always be up against this until piracy goes away entirely. But some of the packaged game distributors are coming up with innovative ways and methods to distribute games online through online downloads for pay that could thwart packaged piracy even further, which would be a good benefit for the market, and to enable gamers to find more intriguing entertainment value from packaged games if they were to connect to the internet to play that packaged offline game. Maybe a download from the internet could enhance the game or something to that effect, and you can only get that download if you had the proper CD key. There are lots of different ways that the distributors are coming up with. Again, the regulations might get in the way. Right now, you can get a permit to if your packaged game is given a permit for content in China, then the rule is today that if you would like to then release that game for digital download, you have to go through the whole permit process again, even though it's the same game. So they really find a way to get in the face of technical evolution and distribution at every turn. That said, I think that piracy is making progress in China, and we are hopeful that it will continue to make progress. Online piracy is another issue. It's to a lesser extent than the offline piracy, but there are pirate servers that distribute online games illegally, and the online game operators are doing their best to work with those pirate servers. Sometimes in some cases they buy the pirate server company and then establish them as a legitimate regional operator or something to that effect and share revenue. Anything to prevent piracy. are great strides being made, but there's a long way to go.
Very good, thank you. Lisa, what advice do you have for Western game developers or publishers who are trying to do business in China?
Advice: be patient. Don't expect that the deal that was cut 2 months ago, 6 months ago, 2 years ago will be the deal that you are able to cut when you're licensing your game to a Chinese online operator or when you're selling your packaged game into China. Things change, business models evolve. Be patient, find the right partners. The right partners are critical in terms of the most appropriate online game operator for your game. Does not necessarily mean that that online game operator is the biggest or the best known. It's just the one that has the same philosophy as your company, who will accommodate some of your needs, who will accept your well-negotiated licensing agreement. And then you have to be patient because the process to get permits and approval takes a long time, and you have to go through beta periods and all sorts of stuff. So you can't expect that your game will be instantly accepted, a license will be instantly negotiated, and then your game will rise to the top 10 immediately and you'll make all kinds of money. It's just not, that's not the way it is there. You have to have an excellent game, you have to have excellent partners to help you both understand the market and then also to operate your game there or distribute your packaged game there. And then you need to have a great legal staff. You have to have a strong understanding of gamer preferences that has been gleaned from doing focus groups about your game or looking at other games that are similar to yours and see what went right and wrong. Truly understand the market and the cultural and physical setting, the internet infrastructure, the internet cafes, the home users, everything about the market, and then try to temper your expectations about when that will turn into profitability for your company.
If any of our viewers want to contact you, can you provide our viewers with the contact information for Niko Partners, please?
Sure, gladly. Niko Partners can be found at www.nikopartners.com, which is NIKOPARTNERS. And I can be found at lisa@nikopartners.com. And my name is Lisa Cosmos Hanson, and I'm very happy to have been here with you today.
Lisa, this was a great interview, and I think of great value to our viewers. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you very much.
For those viewers who are interested, in just a moment you can see some additional information about NetDevil, the Sim Game Exchange, and the IGSA. If you're an interactive gaming or simulations company based in Colorado, please visit www.igsa.biz and be part of us. The IGSA is now seeking to be officially recognized as the newest gaming cluster in the United States. Thanks again. The mission of the Sim Game Exchange is to connect the virtual world to the business world. As official partners of the IGDA, the Sim Game Exchange can help you increase profitability, raise money, locate new business partners, sell or license your IP, connect with other technical talent, develop new profit centers, diversify into serious gaming or advergaming, and expand your customer base. For example, we have a national restaurant group that is developing a large-scale, game-based training simulation for sale to the restaurant industry. We are looking for developers who get the Agile Scrum methodology, and we are looking for a long-term relationship. Therefore, we have built in excellent shared equity upside for you. For more information, please go to thesimgameexchange.com. Thank you.
We formed NetDevil in 1997 to be a place where we could create online games. We saw what was coming from the future, and then what used to be a niche today is mainstream. We have a number of titles under development, with Jumpgate Evolution, our space title, Warmonger, our shooter, and LEGO Universe, our game for kids of all ages. We've grown from 3 people to 70 employees at this point, and we're looking to grow past 100 by the end of the year. So if you're a talented engineer, artist, or designer, we'd love to hear from you. Please go to www.netdevil.com and join us.